Hey, good people. Um, Welcome to just throwing open the microphone for the last few minutes. And just, I was talking to a friend and I'm like, oh, what am I going to say? I don't know. Because this is just for my own personal satisfaction in terms of posting something on the 30th and on the 30th or the 13th and the 30th or 31st. And so what to talk about, I don't know. And I was telling him that in the last segment, in the last produced segment that I did, the congratulations and happy birthday to Chris Tucker at the end of August, which was actually his birthday, was August 31st. I was talking about a situation with his golf coach at the fundraising golf tournament for his foundation, the Chris Tucker Foundation, just talking about an interaction I had with the golf coach and how, in my estimation, he was just entirely too personal, telling me what I should eat in terms of what was on the menu, on the buffet. And like some people might say that, to have that kind of response or that kind of reaction to someone saying something like that might be overkill or unnecessary. But for me, it's just like, how dare you? I don't even know you. I just met you. And it's just so basically, the idea was to talk about the people taking personal liberties and crossing boundaries, even in closer relationships, even in friendships and relationships with people you know well. It's like sometimes it's a little bit too much. It's out of order, basically out of order to say some of the things that folks say. I guess not thinking. I'm not sure, because I have definitely been guilty of that, saying things without thinking of how it is being received on the opposite end. But then again, I'm human, and that's with all of us. We can't really um, receive something that we're pitch. We can't really swing at a pitch that we're pitching. It's just so. Anyway, so that's the one thing in terms of point of view where people are coming from, and I'm sure he didn't mean any harm in it, but it was like just just be careful of how you interact with people, whether they're familiar, very familiar, or just new connections. And then the other part of the perspective piece that I wanted to just speak on is I'm like just days ahead of my first international trip since coming back from Ghana. And I am really looking forward to it, not just for the um, experience, the trip, the itinerary part, but for the opportunity to be outside of the United States and have that outside perspective, the outside view. And I am affirming that in the trip, I will um, gain more insight and understanding, have some time to just sort of relax and have my third eye to awaken and heighten so that I'm able to see clearly my next moves and a better view of America and the state of America and how things will look in a month when the election day comes. But just basically being outside of the situation and having an unbiased, unaffected view, or untainted view with other people's thoughts and opinions in my ear. Um, because when I was in Ghana, it was actually, I moved there just months before the first case of the pandemic. I've already said that before. But then being there, deciding to shelter in place there, and then sheltering in place for a little while turned into a lot longer than I expected or anyone that I know expected me to be there. Um, I was able to see clearly what the whole thing was. I was able to see clearly that it was a planned demic, that it was something that had been planned just based on all of the information that came out after the fact. And I could see that the pandemic was for the vaccine agenda. And now that part, I've been clear that I don't know what the agenda was, because I don't have the gift of prophecy. I don't know what the agenda was. I just know that there was an agenda to get well, I don't know the outcome is what I'll say. I don't know the outcome of the vaccine agenda, but I know that is clear. I'm sure that the vaccine agenda was the end game for the pandemic. And how that ends or how that turns out, I don't know. And it's still actually unfolding, because based on a lot of the videos I watched, they're saying that 3 to 5 years will be like once the experiment has fully run its course. So we're just at about 3 or so years. So anyway, basically, I'm just looking forward to this trip, being able to look back on America from the outside and have a clear view, have heightened insight about things, not just for myself, or I'll say not just for the state of the American Union, but my state. What's going to happen for me next? How are things going to go? So I don't know. We'll see. And so with that, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let that be it, and just say I thank you very much for taking the time to hear me out. And I affirm that, be it by divine appointment, you will the next time as well. And I will close with Namaste, which means the light within me honors the light within you. And so until then, whenever it is, whatever it is, be good, take good care, and namaste, good people.